Shalom to all you Akim out there. First and foremost, all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders, the great millstone, teacher who grew well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, the men that are serving in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe. So basically, brothers are in transit, so there's going to be a quick in transit through the spirit. The other day, I went to see that movie that just came out called Queen and Slim. And I just want to give a quick impromptu on basically how there's no hope for Israel. The only hope for Israel is Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. Returning to our power and serving Him in truth and sincerity. Keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our abilities. And rehearsing our righteous acts. So, that being said, I went to see the movie Queen and Slim, and right off the back, through the spirit, I analyzed a lot of things. They titled the movie Queen and Slim. It wasn't Slim and Queen, So they gave acknowledgement to the woman before the man. And they also got a movie. I don't know if people are familiar with Hansel and Gretel, but they made a movie, or they're making a movie about it, and it's called Gretel and Hansel. So that being said, with them putting a woman's name Queen first, and through the spirit, we all know what Queen means. So, but ultimately, I'm not going to give away the movie, but I'm just going to give a brief, my brief opinion on it. In the movie, they made the black man, the so-called black man, they made Jake look like a simp. A Christian, he was a Christian, Christian Jesus believer, listening to gospel music, the typical beta male Jake that's not in his truth. Movie starts out, at a restaurant or whatever. But basically, the movie's about police brutality. The scriptures say, agree with thy enemy whilst thou art in the way with him, lest he deliver you up to the judge, and the judge to et cetera, et cetera. I forget the script. I don't want to butcher it. I can't pull my scripts out right now, but basically, Eve escalated the situation and made it worse than what it was. Man was not a man. He did not speak for himself. There's even a part in the movie where a guy asked him, he was like, so this your woman? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, she speak for the both of y'all? Because he was a simp. The dude was a simp, and he made Jake look bad, man. He fucking made us look bad, bro. A lot of the decisions, which is another reason why it's so, Yapa means beautiful. It's beautiful that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai blessed us with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures in these last days. Because the scriptures, there's a scripture for literally every aspect of life. A lot of the decisions that were made in that movie were unlogical, and they were made by the woman, which resulted in, I'm not going to tell the movie, but which resulted in a negative outcome. This man let this woman call all the shots, which they titled the movie Queen and Slim. It wasn't Slim and Queen, it was Queen and then it was Slim. And even with those two titles, Queen is like they was trying to magnify the woman, and Slim is like you're, belittle the man. But anyway, basically in this movie it talked about It was an exaggeration. Well, not really an exaggeration, but it was somebody's reenactment on how the police shootings go when Jake gets shot in the streets, and basically, it showed the hopelessness of Jake. It shows that Jake, there's no unity between Jake. Jake will turn on Jake. That's in the movie. It shows that it's a lot. I'm trying to make sure brothers is on the right highway. But it shows, it shows there's no unity between Jake. It shows how the scripture says, as for my people, children are their oppressors and women rule over them. It shows how the woman is higher than the man in this society. All the abominations, all the wickedness that goes on in Jake's community, it shows. It shows how, and this is something that Jake's going to keep doing until the Most High rouses them up, until the Most High puts his spirit on them during these race wars. Fucking marching, bro, and protesting, bro. Basically, Esau Edom is making a fucking mockery of Jake. We're going to see how far we can push y'all before y'all actually rise up. If Jake's not going to rise up, it's going to take Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah to rise Jake up. So basically, in the movie, it's like they were making a mockery of Jake. We could do what we want to them, get away with it. All they're going to do is protest and riot. Then we're going to beat their ass in the streets. And then they just going to run. Jake is only tough with Jake. That's it. That's the only time Jake's tough. Is when it's with another Jake. Jake will not stand up against his oppression. So ultimately, the situation that Queen and Slim ended up in the movie, I would say Slim and Queen, but shit, the dude wasn't a fucking man in the movie, man. He was a fucking simp. So the situation that Queen and Slim ended up in the movie, all the decisions were made by Queen for the most part. Everything was her plan. Everything was made by Queen. The guy had he had no say. He was a fucking Jesus freak, And so ultimately, all the decisions that were made led them to destruction. And at the end, there was no justice served. It was basically a movie that was made to, you start to feel some type of hope in the movie, and then plot twist. At the end, Esau smacks you with the reality of, hey man, y'all in captivity, man. This is what we doing to y'all. This is what we gonna keep doing to y'all. So, you know what I'm saying? It was a decent movie for brothers that's in the spirit, that's in this truth. That is a great movie to go and analyze. And I know a lot of brothers are gonna end up doing videos on that movie. But yeah, man, the beta male simp Jake, and then you got this fucking Queen of Heaven worship spirit, as far as Eve goes. And it's a fucking disgrace, man. It's a fucking disgrace because that movie depicts how Esau Edom feels about Jake. As if he hasn't been already telling us how he feels about it. But the fact that they would go and make a movie and they would have like a sort of a and this may give it away, but sort of a set it off / Bonnie and Clyde, type of ending. Brothers know set it off with Queen Latifah, Jada Pinkett, and various other women that played in those movies. But yeah, man, Queen and Slim, man, the destruction of the so-called black man and woman. Esau made Jake look like a bitch in that movie, bro, and Jake was a bitch in that movie for the most part. That woman led him to his fucking. First of all, the movie showed that Eve talks too fucking much. Right? Eve talks too fucking much. The reason they ended up in the situation was because Eve wouldn't shut the fuck up. I'm gonna tell you something that happened in the movie. They get pulled over by the cop. The cop goes to search the trunk. He got the brother with his hands on the car. Eve blows the fucking horn from inside of the car, man. as if to tell the cop to hurry the fuck up. She's blowing the horn, bro, agitating Esau. You know what I'm saying? So the movie was, if you're in the spirit, man, and you know how things should be done through the spirit, the movie's gonna piss you off, man. You're gonna be like, man, this dumbass shit. Look at, man. I was in there the whole time, man. I'm like, man, this dumb. Look at this shit, man. So yeah, man, I encourage brothers to go see it and do videos on it. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's a lot. Yeah, go see the movie. Go see Queen and Slim, man. Do your videos on it. And basically, you know, Jake is under the curses. You know, even though these curses are being lifted by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and got the incense burning. Yeah, but even though these curses are being lifted by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and being put on Esau Edom, Jake is still in a fucking dumbed down state. Ultimately, Jakes are gonna have to be killed at an alarming rate for before the Most High pours His Spirit out on them to rise up against Esau, because Jake loves his oppressor. Jake fears his oppressor, and the movie really just shows the mental change that Esau has Jake under. You know, so it was a good movie, but I was disappointed. Jake would go to the movies and sit down and look at that movie and be like, you know, they would be entertained, but through the spirit, I was pissed off watching the movie. Like, you know how you watch a movie and you're like, no, why the fuck would you do that? Or what kind of decision is that? Or, you know, through the spirit, we know what the scripts say. That's all I did. Scriptures just kept coming to my head while I was watching this movie, man, in the theater, you know. And so I encourage Jake to go see the 44. Khan Thawadi, how about Shem Y'all Shot? But I encourage Jake to go see this movie. Not Jake, Akim, and you know, post your opinions on it. You know. Yeah, but with that being said, you know, this was a quick in transit through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, the Wadi Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, for giving me the spirit to do this video. You know, this quick impromptu. Double honor to your apostles and elders at Great Millstone, who teach and who rule well. A peace and salutation to the hopeful elect and the men that are serving in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe. And, you know, before I close out, I just want to say Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. You know, Heavenly Father, we're hastening in the day that you bring down Esau Edom's wicked kingdom, and that you put all these heathens and the wicked in subjection under your feet, and you lift up Israel, you know, Yasharallah, to exalt your name. You know, we're praying for the downfall of America. We're praying that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, which He will, but Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, we're praying that you send the missiles to destroy this fucking place and to deliver us from our captivity. You know. So, you know, with that being said, Akim, peace, stay up, shalom.